Hey guys, what's up? My name is Melody. In this intro, I'm just introducing myself. Um, I'm in no shape, way, or form a professional makeup artist, but I do love putting on makeup and having that snatched face. And so here I will begin to show you my Bare Minerals Prep Step SPF 50 primer that I received in this month's BoxyCharm, and I've used it twice, and it honestly makes your makeup last all day, and it looks really good, and it obviously protects you from the sun, so I love it. Here I'm talking about actually how I'm going to carve out my lower part of the eyebrows using the MAC Pro Longwear paint pot in soft ochre. And quick story, I usually just carve out the bottom part of my eyebrows. I've recently been doing this, and it's honestly been working for me. I just tend to fix the upper part of my eyebrows with my fingers. And so yeah, I like that. So next up, I use the same uh, paint pot to hide the redness of my eyelids because I do have redness, and I've noticed that with this it mattifies them, which I do tend to have oily eyelids too, and it sucks. So it does help, put up the eye shadow easier. It makes it stand out better, and yeah, I've been using this. Oh, by the way, the brush that I am using, it's the same one I used to carve out the eyebrows, and it's a mini chisel fluff by Crown Brushes. So next up, I will be showing you how I set the paint pot. I will be using the 35N Morphe palette, and I will also be using that for my look today. I usually use as I'm pointing out, the bonish kind of same eyelid color just to set it, and that way the eyeshadows glide on nicely and it looks really good. And the brush that I am using is an eyeshadow number 2 by Vasanti. So next up, I will be starting it with my transition color. Again, going back into the 35N Morphe palettes. And I use the Pro Fusion blending brush. And I go in with like a really light brown. It kind of also has like a orange undertone to it, but I use it as my transition shade, and I use a little bit of product, tap it off, and begin doing circular and windshield wiper motions. So next up, I pick up my Inspire. Oh wow, I don't even know what it says. It's something about fluff. Oh, eye fluff. 232 eye fluff Inspire brush, and I go in with a more dark brown to put in the lower part of my crease and the outer V of my eye. And I only use a little bit of product, that way I can build it up, because if I go in with a lot of product it's going to be harder to blend and you'll get a harsh line. I've learned, trust me. And so I do that, and yeah. Okay, so next step, I will be picking up my eyeshadow number 2 Vasanti brush once more and going back into the 35N Morphe palette, and I will be packing on the 2/3 of my eyelid like a very bright light pink. Now, let me tell you this, I don't really wear these kinds of colors. I try to stay more on the neutral, warm tone sides. And so I honestly kind of made this look up as I went. I tend to do that. Like I'll be, oh, I'm just gonna do this, but then I kind of go in a different direction. So I do that in this eye, pack it on and then go back in with my Inspire brush and the dark brown to blend in the colors. That way there's a gradient to it, and that way, um, it doesn't look like it's a line. It's just color, line color. So, and then I go back in and buff out the edges to make it a more smooth and nice transition and gradient. After I'm done with this, I will go in the same with the other eye. So here I will be going in with my eyeliner, which I clearly forgot to have ready, but I use the Ciate London Fierce Flicks eyeliner. Now, my holy grail is actually the liquid eyeliner by e.l.f., but lately I've been using this and it's been really good. And trust me, my it's a struggle to put eyeliner. I practice like every beauty influencer says, practice makes better actually. So just keep practicing and practicing, and you'll be able to do a fierce wing. And of course, you can always correct it too. And I do go back in with the MAC paint pot, and really sharpen the edges of the wing. So now that I'm done with my eyes, I will begin with the face. And what I always do before putting on foundation is I will go in with my Tarte Shape Tape. And so I got the wrong shade. You know how they say, oh, you need to get 2 shades lighter? Well, I think I got like 4 or 5 shades lighter than my face. So I'm using the light sand, and I always conceal under the eyes. I put a lot on the nose to actually cover the whole nose, because if I don't, the foundation will just slip off my nose since my T-zone is very, very oily, especially my nose. And so I do that, and then I just blend it in with it's not a beauty blender. It's those ones that you buy like at Ross. That's where I bought mine. But hey, it does the job, so I'm okay with it, and it's cheaper, a lot cheaper. So I use that and um, just conceal some of the pimples too. And yeah, that's what I do with this shade, the light sand from the Shape Tape. All right, now it's time for foundation. And so far, my go-to foundation is the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless in the shade Buff Beige, or 130. Since, like I said, my face does tend to get oily, this is perfect. It mattifies. I don't know. It's just a really good drugstore foundation, and trust me, I can only afford drugstore foundation, so it's really helps. And I always put a little bit in the fake beauty blender, and I put blobs on the cheeks, the forehead, the chin, and usually the nose, but I kind of forgot, and I was like, oh darn, I need to go to the nose too. So but you'll just see me. And don't ever forget to do under the chin and your neck. That way there's a nice color, not just it's gonna look weird if you don't do it under the chin and your neck. Trust me, I've done that mistake before. Not a pretty picture. So next up, I go back in with the Shape Tape, but this time it's the color that I actually was supposed to get, which is in the shade Medium. And I just go back in under my eyes, the bridge of my nose, a little bit on the forehead, the cupid's bow, and the chin. And I know it's like a lot, but trust me, it helps me and it works for me. So to each their own, right? So I usually don't bake the face. I like to set wherever I conceal, which is under the eyes, on the bridge of the nose, actually the whole nose, because like I said, I am very oily. And the chin, the cupid's bow, my laugh lines, because they're very present. and and then I'll usually set the whole face, but I don't bake. I've tried it before, and I just can't. So, oh, and I'm using the Laura Mercier translucent powder. All right, now I'm going to contour the face because your girl needs to look a little bit slimmer. And I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Powder Kit in light to medium. And it's honestly the best thing I've ever purchased. And the I'm carving out my cheeks with the Alpha bronzing brush. I've always used this. Was actually my first brush that I bought, and I use the three shades, which is Havana, Fawn, and Java. I mix them up, and that's what I do to carve out my cheekbones. To put on my forehead and under the chin. I always do that using those three color or shades. I'm sorry. So next up, I'm going to contour the nose because my nose does need to be slimmer. And I'm using a Pro Fusion brush. It does not say the name of it. It's actually supposed to be like a highlighter thing, but I use it for the nose. It works perfectly. And the shade from the contour kit that I use for my nose is the shade Fawn. And I'm no professional nose snatcher like I love Sarai. I love the way she snatches her nose, and so I kind of got some tips from her, especially putting the translucent powder on the sides of the nose to kind of emphasize more on the slimness of the nose. And so, like I said, I'm no professional, but it helps me and it looks good. And I go in with the color Banana using the e.l.f. brush. It does not say the name, and I try to kind of hide that it doesn't look too harsh or it doesn't look too obvious that I try to contour my nose. I kind of forgot to mention too that I use the banana shade to brighten up under the eyes and to put on the chin and the forehead. So, yes. And so now I am going to put blush, and it's by Milani. It's a baked blush in the color Luminoso. I always put a little bit because it packs a punch if you put a lot, and I don't want to be looking like no clown. Ooh, scary. And I'm using Me brush. It's a blush brush. It came in one of my Birch boxes, but this was like a long time ago when I was subscribed to them. And now to my holy grail and my favorite part of doing the face is the highlight. And I am using the Mary Luminizer, uh, aka the Luminizer by The Balm Cosmetics, and it's the very first highlight that I've ever used, and it's my holy grail, trust me. And so I am going to be highlighting the face with the brush. It's a Aesthetica H22 brush. It came in my last month's BoxyCharm box, and it's really well. So I highlight the top of my cheekbones, the forehead, on top of the arch of my eyebrows, and then I connect it to my cheekbones. I've always done this. I've always loved the way that it looks. And then I also highlight my chin. And yeah. And so now I will be using the same highlighter, but I will be using the Pro Precision Concealer number 45, a Sephora brush. And I love this brush to highlight the tip of the nose. And I always do like a kind of like a dome shaped highlight on the nose, on the tip of the nose, because it kind of helps it look like a push up button nose. Cute. And then I do the bridge of the nose, and then I also use it for to highlight the brow bone. I've always done this, and I love the way it always turns out. I keep forgetting to mention that I also highlight my cupid's bow and the inner tear ducts. I think that's how you say it. So here I will be now getting my eyelashes, and the eyelashes that I am using are from Creme. They're like a wispier eyelashes, and I bought these at TJ Maxx, and honestly, I'm not mad. They're bomb.com, and I use the Duo lash glue, and I let them dry before even putting them on. So I'm just gonna, as you're gonna see, I'm just gonna be putting the glue on and then leaving them down. So while I'm letting those get tacky, actually the eyelashes get tacky, I will be going back in with my Morphe 35N Morphe palette, and I will be finishing off the under the eyes, and I will be going with uh actually the darker brownish color, and just that's the only color I'm going to be using under the eyes, and I'm going to try to smoke it out. You won't really be able to tell, but in person it does look, you can tell, and it looks really nice. So that's what I will be doing. All right, so now that I have done that, I am going to be curling my eyelashes so that I can put on my eyelashes, the fake, the falsies. There we go. And let me tell you, putting on eyelashes is the hardest thing. Eyebrows, eyeliner, and eyelashes are a mission, but I guess you do get better in time and just keep practicing putting them on, whatever works for you. But so I'll just be putting on the eyelashes, and I don't put mascara. I put that after I have put on my eyelashes, by the way. And the mascara that I will be using is by Estee Lauder. It's like a little sample. I got it from Macy's, and it's the best mascara I've ever used. A very high end, but very, very good mascara. And now I will be going to my waterline, and the color I will be using is white, which is it's actually a jumbo eye pencil. It's by NYX, and the shade is 604 Milk. And I love it because it helps make my eyes look a little bit bigger than what they actually are. We're almost finished. Now onto the lips. Now this color is it has no name, but I love it. It's like a goldish, pinkish color, and I love the way it looks on my lips. And so after I have done that, I will be setting my face with the NYX Matte Finish Long Lasting Setting Spray. I love this stuff. Like I said, for my oily face, it works perfect. Alright guys, so this is a finished look. I hope that you guys liked my video. I know it's a little long. It's my first video. I know I've made mistakes, but this is a look that I came up with, and I hope you guys enjoy it. And so if you guys like it, please give it a thumbs up, leave me comments, subscribe to my channel. I will be posting another video by Friday. So thank you guys once again for watching. Bye bye.